Welcome, ninjas, to today's Ninja Skill Booster, all about hybrid working. This is such a broad topic. It was really interesting pulling together some content for today. What do we talk about in half an hour on such a big topic, such as hybrid working? It's the 23rd of February, 2022, and hybrid working is definitely a buzz at the moment. It's probably just my echo chamber in my LinkedIn and Facebook and everything that I look at, but definitely we're facing lots of conversation about hybrid working. Now just let me bring up my other slide for us here. Okay, won't be long. There it is. Now I know yesterday was the 22nd of February, was 2-2 day, but this was just too good not to share again. I shared this in one of my workshops yesterday. Happy 2-2 day for the 22nd of February for yesterday. But as I say, I just wanted to share this again because it's a lovely image representing the tutu, the magic of the tutu. Now that's a very random thing for me to be sharing, but it gets our brains activated this morning. Here are my contact details for you all. You're very welcome to contact me at any time. We'll be sending you a follow-up email after this session anyway. So you've already got our details, I'm sure, but this is just a welcome, open invitation to contact me. If you have any questions, concerns, want to talk about anything after the session, and also, of course, want to talk about the work that we do at Think Productive. If you don't know much about Think Productive, Graham Alcott is the founder of Think Productive. He's from the UK and he wrote this book, How to Be a Productivity Ninja, which I bought about 7 years ago, and it completely changed my world. So I'm now the owner of Think Productive Australia, New Zealand. I bought the rights to his business here. And we've got brilliant workshops, brilliant resources all around helping people worry less, achieve more, love what you do. So that's what we're aiming to do every day here. And today I'm sharing some content from two of our hybrid working workshops, Leading Hybrid Teams and the Productivity Ninja's Guide to Hybrid Working. I'm also sharing some content from our Supercharge Your Team Comms or Team Communications workshop, because team communication is such a relevant topic to hybrid working. And it's quite interactive today. So be ready to share, be ready to interact in the chat. And we'll also be using a tool called a Miro board for some brainstorming as well. So lots going on today. Let's start. I'd love to hear from you. When we think about hybrid working, please put in the chat, what have you loved about working from home? Just pop this in the chat for us so we can get a feel for what have been the good things about working from home. And we're just staying on the good things here. What are the good things? I'll read some of these out for the sake of the recording. Wearing my happy socks, being around my pets, saving 2 hours a day on the commute, having somewhere to be alone and relax. Yeah, thanks for all these comments. Less interruptions, saving time, getting to sleep in, not commuting, making lunch, no travel, wearing a t-shirt, half dressing. I'm actually half dressed at the moment. Can I say that? I do have some quite colourful shorts on down here, wearing my Hug boots, better furniture, no politics. Oh, this is great. Okay, these are all the great things about working from home. Let's switch gears a little bit here and think, what have you missed about the office? What have you missed about going into the office? People, yeah, thanks Fiona, quick off the mark there. Human interaction, chatting at people's desks. Nothing, okay, that's interesting because we are a bit split on this story. People, connection with people, staff, change of scenery, people, bad coffee, people interaction, good coffee, face-to-face contact. Yeah, so we've missed a lot about the office as well. Great. So this is where hybrid working is interesting, because we're looking for how do we find the right balance between being at home, being in the office, and embracing the benefits of both. Now we're going to have a look at a Miro board now. Julie's going to put a link in the chat for us. And I want to show you this Miro board. If you click on that link, you'll go straight in there and start playing with it, I'm sure. I just want to put it on the screen for you and show you this board. This is a tool for some interaction. When you come in here, one of the good things to do is to click on the little panel up here that hides people's cursors. Otherwise, you get everyone flying all around the screen. And what I'd love you to do in here, just click on a post-it note and put in here, what are your concerns about hybrid working? What are your concerns about hybrid working? This is just another way of interacting in terms of using a tool. You can move this board around, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, double click on one of these post-it notes and you can type some comments in here. It's all anonymous. So what I'm doing here, I'm gathering your thoughts, but at the same time, I'm showing you this Miro board idea. I hope you're all, I can see there's nearly 20 of you in here already. So if you're having any issues getting in, maybe try using a different browser. Sometimes there might be a block on a browser or something. Otherwise, I can see we've already got a good group of people in here putting some comments in. What are your concerns about hybrid working? That's what we're trying to capture here. If you can't get in, you should be able to see the Miro board on my screen. Can you still see the Miro board on my screen, Julie? Just checking in on that. And if you can't, thanks, Julie. So if you can't actually get in, you can see what's going on in here. People are in here. We've got 24 people in here already, and people are typing in their comments, motivating my team, frustration. What's the point? What's the point of hybrid working? Okay, interesting. 230222. People are typing the date in here. Shifting expectations around workload and work hours, connection with the team, losing touch with the team. So these are some of the concerns about hybrid working. Managing 2 locations, lost time due to poor communication, internet problems, finding a common day for the team to be in the office. This is a big one. Finding this common ground when we can be collaborating again. So thank you everyone for having a go at this. And we've now got nearly 30 people in the board. So this is great. Come on in, have a play. I can see some people moving the post-it notes around. You can move the post-it notes around. Some people like to get creative in here. That's absolutely fine. So what we're doing here is gathering data. You can use this tool with your team. You can also use a Google Jamboard or a whiteboard in MS Teams for capturing brainstorming ideas like this. Brilliant. Thank you, everyone. So this was just an initial sort of warm-up before I get into the content, just wanting to share Miro with you and how we use this in our workshops sometimes. Sometimes we have boards that are pre-formatted with different areas, so it's not as wild as this, and it keeps people structured in different things. But the nice thing you can do about this, once you've done it, if you want to just look at my screen again, if you can see that, is you can move things around, and then we can say, okay, if we're doing a brainstorm, not that I'm doing this, looking at the actual content as we do it, but we can then start to group different things. You know, if we're doing a brainstorm, wanting to group similar ideas together, this kind of thing. So really good tool for getting some interaction happening there. All right, what do you think of Miro? Put some comments in the chat for me so I can see what you think of Miro. We'll shut down that Miro board now. Well, you can stay in there if you like. That's the beauty of it. Good tool. Thanks, Kristen. It's a pretty cool tool. Didn't work for me. Sorry, Dino. Sometimes there might be a technical hitch with that, especially when we've got so many people from so many different organizations. So we had a pretty good success rate of people getting in there. And this is interesting, isn't it? As we think about hybrid working, we do have to make sure the tools we're using, everyone can access, everyone can use. Otherwise, people do potentially feel left out. So my apologies for anyone that couldn't access that. That's one of our learnings as we go with hybrid working and technology. So let's talk about hybrid working. Thanks for all your input there. I appreciate that. We need to think about hybrid working being this blend between being at home and being in the office. We need to think about what are the good things to do at home, what are the good things to be doing in the office. Now, today's content is suitable whether you're working in a team or you're a leader, but we've got 2 different workshops that cover those different views of hybrid working because they're different concerns. A lot of the content today is around just how do we as individuals be more productive, more effective with hybrid working. So matching your outcome to your location or matching your task to your location. So we need to be thinking, what are the things that should be face-to-face? What are the things we need to be in the office for? And there's a spectrum right through to what are the things that work best virtually? What are the things that are best when I'm at home? So face-to-face should be all the things that we need people for. We get the team together, all the things where we need to be really solving problems, interacting, performance reviews, you know, the deeper, more difficult conversations potentially. You know, these are the things that we need to be doing in person in the office. Right to the other end of the spectrum, what are the things to be doing at home? The solo work, the deep thinking. These are the things to be thinking about when we're at home and planning our week and planning our actions or our outcomes according to this location. And on this chart, there's obviously a whole spectrum of different activities. A lot of it blends in the middle. So it gets a little bit finicky to try and fit things into each box, but it's really just about thinking, what's my outcome? What am I wanting to achieve? And where do I need to be to do this? So I want to share now some thoughts from our Supercharge Your Team Comms workshop, because team communications is such an important part of hybrid working. If we're thinking about our team, whether we're leading a team or whether we're part of a team, how we're communicating with each other is critical. So a Boston Consulting Group study done around building trust at work was asking people, what are the things that build trust? And trust is such a critical part of our workplace. If we have more trust, decisions can be made faster, communication can be clearer, we can absolutely be more productive and more keep things moving, have more momentum with better trust. So the top of the list was good sense of job security. That definitely builds trust. But what was interesting out of this research, number 2, good communication between the leadership and the employees builds trust. So when we're thinking about hybrid working, thinking about the quality of our communication is critical. And our communication is everything from a text message, a Teams chat, an email, a meeting, a PDF document that we're sharing, everything. So really important to be thinking about the quality of our communications. One of the other challenges of hybrid working, particularly it comes from leaders, is I can't see my people. How do I know they're working if I can't see them? How do I know what's going on if I actually can't see them? And this causes a lot of stress. And it's about, there's that element, how do I know they're working? How do I know what they're doing? But there's the other element, which is, how do I know how they're feeling? How do I know how they're getting on? How do I know, often we can just sense someone's state of being from being in an office with them, sharing a space with them. So that is a challenge. But here's the interesting twist on this. How do I know those things? How do I know those things, even if I can see them? So when we were all in the office together, we'd have an assumption that, oh, it's nice and busy, there's a buzz going on in here. But how did I really know what they were working on, what they were doing, how they were feeling, unless I was putting the effort into checking in with them, connecting with them? So often this comes back to the same kind of solution, which is the importance of communication, the importance of trust, the importance of checking in with people. As a leader, the importance of being vulnerable with our teams as well. So there's a lot here around leading the team and knowing how they're getting on, whether we're virtual or whether we're in the office. Some of the challenges of hybrid working, and we've already talked about this in your chats at the start, less opportunity to check in, micro silos. Teams are becoming less cross-functional in businesses quite often as we're going into more hybrid working. Proximity bias. Within a team, certain team members start to feel like that other team members might be getting more favorable attention from their leader or more favorable responses on projects because they're in the office more, or things like this. So proximity bias can happen. And fatigue. We've talked about Zoom and Teams fatigue since the start of COVID, I think. So here are some things to do about this. Zoom fatigue or Teams fatigue. Try to get people off the cameras when we can. A walking meeting on the phone can be good. That can help. Encourage people to maybe turn their cameras off at times, but then get them all to turn their cameras on together so we can all see each other at different times, so that we're not sitting with the camera on all day. I did hear some research. It was from Adam Grant, or I heard Adam Grant talking about this research, which I'm sorry I don't have the source for you today, that he was talking about the fact that when the camera's on, we're often more distracted than when we're actually just having a phone call or when the camera's off, because a lot of us are worried about, how do we look? Am I looking at the camera? Where do I look on the screen? So it's interesting. A lot of us were thinking we need to have cameras on all the time, but not necessarily. Connection, building connection with the team, checking in with each other, trivia tests, trivia games, anything we can come up with to check in. Show and tell, these micro silos, get cross-functional teams in meetings together, even if it's virtual, so that we can start to share with each other what's going on. Delegating cross-functionally can be really helpful as well, cross-functional projects. Proximity bias, if we're working truly hybrid, where we've got some people in the office and some people dialing into a meeting, really look after the people dialing in. Maybe make sure they've got a link, like a human link in their dialing in to the meeting. So one person's looking after each person dialing in or something like that. One person per device. Instead of having all the 6 people in a boardroom and 6 people dialing in, get those 6 people in the boardroom to all dial in on their own computers as well so that everyone's on a level playing field for that meeting. Truth Tuesdays, checking in with each other. Just have a chat in the Teams chat. Have a channel in there where you can check in with each other on a Truth Tuesday or a Wellbeing Wednesday or whatever you want to call it, just to get people interacting. We do this in our Think Productive Global team, and everyone just shares what's going on in their life, which is a really good way of checking in with our teams, just to know how everyone's feeling. One of the biggest, I recently ran a survey with a client just before running a leading hybrid teams workshop. And one of the most common things that was coming up from the leaders was not knowing really how the team's feeling, how the team's going. So this is a secret way of getting that information, how to do that in a constructive, efficient way. Now, I'm going to share with you 5 key takeouts now. So what we've done in the first part of this Ninja Skill Booster today is some of the theory, some of the thinking around hybrid working. What I want to share now is more like some personal productivity ideas. Some of you will have seen these in our Productivity Ninja workshops. So this is really around our personal productivity. Top 5 takeouts. Create a flexible, able to travel toolkit. This is part of our Ninja weapon savvy idea. Make sure that the tools we're using are portable. Make sure that we can move from home to office seamlessly. Make sure that things are syncing. Make sure that things are working well. This is weapon savvy. So this is the technology piece in a sense, but it's also just make sure that we're able to grab our stuff and move from place to place quite easily. One of the concerns that I saw someone put on that Miro board was managing 2 locations or moving between locations. So make sure we've got this easy to travel or ready to travel toolkit. Bookend your day with a commute. Now, this is more around working from home than hybrid, but it's critical because when we're talking hybrid working from home is such an important part of that. How do we be more productive at home? The commute, like many of you said, it was good to not have the commute. But one thing the commute was helpful for in the good old day or the bad old day, depending on what side of the fence you're on, of going to the office every day. One thing the commute was good for was this bookend. As we're on our way to work, we'd be getting ready and we'd be getting in the zone. We'd be kind of leaving all the thoughts of home life behind. And by the time we got to work, we'd be a bit ready to focus. Then coming home, we'd be leaving work behind and getting ready to be a more pleasant, present person at home. So we miss that commute. It's great, we're saving time. But what I want you to think about is what could you do when you're working from home to symbolize a commute? For many people, it's walking around the block or taking the dog for a walk or going down to the coffee shop and buying a coffee. So just take 30 seconds or a minute, have a think. What could you do in the morning so that and in the evening, because it's the bookend that's important here. What could you do just to ensure you've got this start of the day, end of the day? So the work is bookended. And I'd love you to share this in the chat if you're happy to. It's really good to see some of these ideas. Yeah, thanks, Julie. Even walking to the mailbox helps. Walk the dog or go for a run. Yeah. One of the things with this commute is a lot of us think about the start of the day. What's really important is the end of the day as well, because the end of the day is the shutting down from work. And one of the biggest challenges I'm hearing is people struggling to have these boundaries around work when they're working from home. Have a shower, nice one. And I will be talking about clothing as well. Someone mentioned, thanks, Kristen, changing clothes, looking at my daughter's garden in the front yard. I love that, Ruth. Walk my daughter to school. Yeah, nice. So that's the idea of the commute. So think about this. It's really good just packing away the work things, logging off and closing the door, like at the end of the day. So we've got ourselves in the right mindset. Enclosed cognition. So there was some research done where people were doing an IQ test and they were wearing normal clothing, a couple of groups, and then they gave one group a scientist's white coat to put on, a lab coat to put on. And the group that put the lab coat on, when they were told this is a scientist's lab coat, their scores started going up because they started feeling smarter. So they coined this term enclosed cognition, which is what we wear affects our state. Like when I'm wearing this, even though I am wearing my colorful shorts today, I hope there's no mirrors behind me. When I'm wearing this, I feel in the zone. I feel like I'm ready to ninja, right? Because that's what I often wear when I'm ninjaing. But if I was here in just a normal old t-shirt, my brain wouldn't be in the same zone. So enclothed cognition is wear something that makes you feel like you're working. It doesn't have to be as formal as this, but you may just have some items of clothing which are your work clothes for when you're at home. And they might be more casual than what you wear to the office, but they're still your work clothes. And this is one of the really good things about this. Getting out of those clothes at the end of the day is another really good signal to the brain to help with shutting down from work and getting ready for home life. So this is this idea of enclothed cognition. Boss thinking. Boss thinking is taking time out from the work, stopping the work and doing some planning, doing some prioritizing. We can't do the worker and the boss at the same time. Most of you would have heard me talk about this before. So one of the best techniques to get ourselves started for the day is to use a checklist of some sort to get ourselves set up for the day. So we've got this daily checklist. I'll send you a link to a PDF for this in the follow-up email. This checklist takes you through a really good process to get set up for the day, getting 5 things written down on a Post-it note. Gives you focus, gives you clarity for the day. This is what I'm achieving for the day. I know I'm going through these productivity-related sort of ideas quite fast, but all of these different things add up to give us a really strong start, focus, and end to the day. Number 5, going dark. So as you can see in this quick session today, I wanted to set the scene at the start for hybrid working. What do we like about it? What do we struggle with? And then some really key techniques here to help. Going dark. Whether we're in the office or whether we're at home, going dark is a critical ninja technique. The ninja characteristic that this is all about is stealth and camouflage. We are so distracted. We live in a world where we are so distracted. We're distracted every 3 minutes, roughly. And it takes 10 to 15 minutes to get into a state of flow, roughly. So that means we're always distracted. So stealth and camouflage is thinking about how can I find opportunities, space in the day to hide away from people so I can actually get some focused work done. And this is where hybrid working can be great because this is our working from home time. This is when we can get into that zone, get into the solo work because we're not in this open plan office environment all the time, which despite its benefits for collaboration has a lot of downsides for concentration. And also thinking about digitally. How focused are we on what we're doing and how distracted are we being by our technology? So putting our phones on do not disturb or flight mode is a really good idea. Turning Outlook offline. If you've never seen me talk about this tip, I get so passionate about turning Outlook offline. This is like putting Outlook in flight mode. This is beautiful. We can still be doing our emails, but we're not distracted by the new emails coming in. So it's under the send receive menu. There's a work offline button. If you don't have the button, get your IT support to turn it on for you. It's different to turning off the notifications. As you know, I always encourage turning off the notifications because that's the bubble or the noise every time every email arrives. We don't need that. This is different. This is actually Outlook is offline. The new emails are not coming into the inbox. So absolutely brilliant way of using Outlook. And then we just go back online by pressing the same button, go back online, let it sync, go offline again. So that's very specifically, we're talking hybrid working in this Ninja Skill Booster. And I know I've gone right down to a real specific Outlook tip, but I wanted to share the love of the different levels of thinking here today. And the final bonus tip for you after the top 5 takeouts is take care of you. The more focused we can be on looking after ourselves, the more energy we can have, movement, hydration, good food, good fun, making sure we're breaking up our week with some fun. This gives us more vibe. This gives us more energy. This helps us achieve more, which helps us feel better, which reduces our stress, which is what we're all about at Think Productive, helping with this reduction of stress. The final part of Human Not Superhero is rest. And this relates to the ninja characteristic of preparedness, interestingly, but rest. Resting is investing. Resting is investing in our future self, getting enough sleep, taking the right breaks. So I know these are very fast sessions. The top 5 takeouts are here for you, but I want to ask you to do just one little bit of thinking before we close. And after all these ideas I've shared, not only these top 5 takeouts and the bonus, but all the other thoughts on hybrid working, what action are you going to take as a result of today's session? I want you to just take a moment to reflect on this. What action are you going to take? I'll have a sip of my nice tea here, which is still warm. And if you'd like to put this in the chat, that's really helpful as well. Because the thing is with this hybrid working topic, it's everywhere at the moment. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's writing about it. But what are we actually going to do as individuals in our team or in our work? What are we actually going to do to make a difference? And start small. Put a couple of small things in there. Look at all these great comments. Boss thinking time. Work on the travel toolkit. Love it. Use Miro in my next meeting. Yeah. Nice. Thanks, Katie. Good one. Go offline. Boss thinking checklist. Enclosed cognition. Yes. Bookend the day. And playing the piano. Beautiful. Music's a really good help with this. So many fantastic comments here. Thank you, everyone. So we've got so much we can share at Think Productive. I really want to thank you all for coming today. These half-hour sessions are so fast, and we try to put as much value in here as we can. But if you want more information, check out our website. We've got a whole range of different workshops, particularly the hybrid working ones are really popular at the moment. But our email training, our meetings training, our productivity ninja training, they're all, such valuable sessions to do or share with your team. And the final comment is our 6 weeks to Ninja program. If you're interested in this is for individuals to sign up to, but you can sign up as a team. But the reason we do this 6 weeks to Ninja program is it enables individuals who may not have these courses provided through their work. It enables them to sign up and get a 6-week program with us as well. I'll just put the link to this 6 weeks to Ninja in the chat for you. Such a wonderful program. Because it's 6 weeks, we get this continuity, this team sharing. And what's really good about it as well is people from different industries join, different industries, different companies, and we all get to share what's working, what's not working as we implement the productivity ninja skills. So 6 weeks program, the next week starts on the 30th of March. Once again, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat now. And I really want to thank you all for coming. We did get through this in 28 minutes. Have a lovely day, everyone. Such a pleasure to see you all again. If you do have questions, please feel free to stay on the line. We can chat. And I really thank you all for coming. See you at the next Ninja Skill Booster. We'll include a link to that in the follow-up email from this. And I'm sending you all some love today, some ninja love, some warmth, and happiness. I feel like saying namaste. Does anyone have a question? You're very welcome to put it in the chat. I can also unmute you and allow you to talk if anyone wants to have a chat about something particular. Thank you again for coming, everyone. Thanks, Sarah. Thank you, everyone, for your lovely comments. Namaste, Derek. Great session. Thanks, everyone. Hope you're energized for the day. And thanks for sharing what you're going to action. That's the important bit here. Lovely. Thanks, everyone. Just what I needed. Great stuff, Sarah. Thank you. Get in touch if you need anything else. We love supporting people with this. I'm reboosted. I need to know, Lisa, was reboosted a word? You could just say yes. Was reboosted the word you meant to type? Put yes or no, because I was wondering if you meant to put reboosted or rebooted. Yes, reboosted. It's such a good word. Thanks, Lisa. All right. Reboosted. Can I use that word, Lisa? I'm going to take that as a yes. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Hello, Karen. That's a good question. How do we encourage staff to come into the office? That's a really good question. Something a lot of clients are talking to us about at the moment is exactly that. How do we encourage staff to come into the office? And there's many different ways of doing this. I've got some clients that are basically mandating all staff need to spend 2 or 3 days a week in the office. I've got other clients that are embracing complete flexibility. which is making it hard for the team leaders because the team leaders are finding it hard to encourage people to come to the office. The thing I would say to this is, as long as there's a really valid reason, as long as there's a really constructive reason to go to the office, if it's just we want you to come to the office because we should be in the office, that's probably not going to convince people. Come to the office because it's our collaboration time, it's our check-in time, it's when we're checking in on each other's well-being, it's when we're working as a team, it's when we're supporting each other. Like most people, most individuals I talk to are happy with a blend of home and office. Most people don't want to be at home all the time. But then most people don't want to be, forced to go to the office when they don't need to. So yeah, that's a really good question, Karen. I hope my answer there helps. A lot of my clients are doing things differently with this. A lot of the people we talk to are struggling with that same thing. So let's just have some conversations about that and see what we can come up with. There is no hard and fast rule about this one. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Have a lovely day. Are there any more questions? Let them bring in their dog. Yes. Is that because your name's Dino? Am I allowed to say that? Yeah, bring in their dog. Pets in the office are a good idea. But here's the problem, right? Not everyone likes pets. Some people are genuinely scared of dogs. Some people have beliefs around dogs that they're not able to be with dogs in the same area, this kind of thing. So it's kind of like, yeah, we're all different. Some companies have a pet policy. Yeah, nice. And Julie says, I'd be creating key reasons to come to the office on particular days. That means everyone wants to be there. Yes, it needs to be what's the reason. It's a bit like our meetings. Karen says allergies and dog shit. Okay, is that the good thing about not having pets in the office, Karen? Yeah, that could be right. Absolutely. This is the thing. We're all different, right? Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely day. I'll stop the recording.